All right, guys, Rational Gig Driver coming to you with a video from the car. I've been trying to put a video together here for a while now. Every time I do, I get an order or something comes up. And in this case, I got an order, but we're definitely not going to do it. It's $2 for 0.7 miles from our friends over at Grubhub. I'm not doing it. I'm just not going to do that. I will turn it down. But I think we're going to get through it today. Anyways, I apologize. I haven't been live. First off, I'll address that. My wife, as you know, I've mentioned in the lives, my wife is pregnant. We've been having some complications. We've been in and out of the hospital, but I'm out working again. So it's been a little bit, I thankfully got in a couple days earlier this week. I think I even went live earlier this week once, but certainly not to the degree that I was hoping. But the topic of today's video, I wanted to talk about, and this has kind of been something I've wanted to address because it's been popping up in my comment section, and it's along the lines of, will DoorDash raise base pay? Should they raise base pay? Will they? What's going on with it? And my position is that no, DoorDash will never raise base pay ever again. That we've seen the last of any base pay ever being raised by DoorDash, and there's a reason for that, and that's because earn by time exists. So my position is that earn by time, and the more I'm doing this, the more I've gotten involved in it. As you know, I got heavily involved with earn by time and have been ever since the tier system came, because it's the one way to keep me access. And I was trying to figure out, how can I implement earn by time? How can I still cherry pick? How can I still work in a way that is going to allow me access to all the platforms whenever I need to be, and be able to multi-app and be able to get the best of all worlds? And what I found is earn by time is the gateway to that. Now, DoorDash says, and I think, again, when you understand how earn by time works and how they're funding the earn by time, it starts to become clear that earn by time is the full DoorDash platform now. Earn by offer, while it does have all opportunities on there for shops, and it has opportunities on there for the large order program, essentially it's going to be an area that unless you're someone who wants to do shopping, that it's going to be slower. It's going to be more difficult to earn it as it matures, as the programs mature, because the whole purpose of earn by offer is, in my opinion, for two purposes. One, it's used to fund earn by timers. So you've got to have that other side to fund the earn by time process. And two, it's a timeout box for the earn by timers. In other words, they know by the design of the system, and the design of the system requires several things for it to work. One of them is the tier system. Another is to have earn by time. Another is to have earn by offer. And you put those three together, and it begins to allow DoorDash to completely control Dasher behavior. It allows DoorDash to be self-funding through the tips that customers leave. And it allows DoorDash to essentially guarantee Dasher money or Dasher pay through tips. And it allows it to all be done in a way that regulators, the public, Dashers themselves don't necessarily see what's going on. It does not mean, now, DoorDash says the largest tips on its platform are going to be on earn by offer. And that is true. That is true. There's no question. But that does not mean the largest payouts. And remember, DoorDash ease, we'll call it, never tells you what's really going on in the way they say it. They say the largest tips. Now, they understand Dashers are going to believe that the largest tips means the largest payouts. Not anymore. And I've seen this time and time and time again. My average payout on earn by time is higher than earn by offer now. Never used to be that way. And when earn by time first came to my market, it wasn't that way. But now it's been in my market now for almost a year. It might be a year now. And what I've seen now is the average payout on earn by time offers going up. And while you will see maybe a $35 or $40 offer on, or $35 payout on earn by offer, you also see them on earn by time. It's just the way you get there is different. And on earn by time, you may see a $20 tip and $10 base pay, right? Whereas on earn by offer, you see a $2 tip and say a $28 tip and $2 base pay. And it's in the differences there, right? Every single time, the way earn by offer pays for the earn by timers is that in every single situation, in every single order, that earn by time pays out more than earn by offer. And there's a tip that is more than the amount that would have been paid out by earn by time. In those instances, DoorDash is essentially sliding that money over, and it's funding the earn by time payouts. And again, there's so much money over there, it allows and offsets the times that maybe sometimes there are times when maybe a tip wouldn't have been as much, and maybe they're not getting anything out of it. And in that case, DoorDash just wins because they got a driver to do a $2 base pay. The expense of a dasher now has been brought down to $2. $2, that's covered by their tips, that's covered by, but everything else above the $2, and eventually they're going to get it down to $1. Everything above that is going to be covered by the tips that are being paid out on the earn by offer side. And DoorDash, this is why Tony Xu, and again, I will eventually pull that interview up. We will eventually do. I know I keep saying it, but my life is just insanely crazy. We will eventually watch that together. I will eventually talk about this. I'm eventually going to show you the math in real time on how this works, because it's what Tony Xu was talking about when he said, and the guy was just going crazy with the idea that there are some dashers making $15 an hour base pay, or at least you're paying a $15. He was like, no, not quite, because it's not quite like that. It is, but it isn't. Okay. Like, it's like, how can you afford to do that? It's because, well, we have this other side, this other area where we can slide over and fund this entire program. And, you know what? We may have to go do this. Getting an offer up here that's looking too good to be true, too good to pass up now, on Spark. But anyways, so that is where, that's how it comes. So when you're looking at it, if you want to get the fullest experience now, in my opinion, it's earned by time. And a lot of people may not like that. But I believe right now, looking at the numbers, I'm getting higher average per offer. Now, does that mean you will escape doing no tip orders? No, it does not. It does not mean that. I am not suggesting that. You are going to have offers come to your screen that you're not going to like, at the end, but you're not going to know about them until the end. So you're not going to know you just took a no tip order until the end. And for me, psychologically, that's better, because the way I look at it is I'm making $13.25. I'll look at I'll get the offer on my screen. I'll see it. And I'll be like, okay, boom. And there are slow times still. There are slow times, but it also allows me that with the courtesy wait, if I'm waiting at a restaurant and I know I'm only making $13.25, but I don't have confidence that this is going to be a good tip, I have my Uber on. I have my Grubhub on. I have my Spark on. If something better comes and I'm waiting at the restaurant already and the order isn't already ready and I'm not confident about how the pay is and I'm not certain and I don't necessarily like specifically the area and it comes up for a courtesy cancel, I can courtesy cancel it. And then I can move on to my next order if I have something better. If I don't, I know I'm steadily going to be earning $13.25 an hour for the time that I'm working. So it gives me that guarantee of earnings. It gives me that consistency that Tony Xu's talking about. And I still see large order programs, not as frequent as I have, but I see large order program like payouts on delivering a burrito and say a single Panda Express bowl. And I take those two offers, and because they tip me, say one might have tipped me $6 and one might have tipped me $5, and then I have an $11 tip, and it ends up taking me, say, 50 minutes and I get a $10 payout, I've just made 21 bucks. And I may have driven 8 miles. And if that 8 mile 1625 plus would have shown up as a large order program order for me, I would have taken it all day and I would have relished in the $21 payout and I would have been like, heck yeah. And those happen all the time. The other day I got them left and right and left and right. And then while I'm looking for spark orders. I'll turn on, I also have started to experiment with stacking up orders. It's a lot easier now to stack up orders. And you're getting that extra base pay. I had one extremely amazing stack that I did the other day, and it paid me out $32 or $33. I think it was live on air. In fact, I can't remember, but I think it was. So there's a lot more you can do with it. There's a lot more that you're going to be able to do with the earn by time. And I think it's a way that we all have to start looking. But the worryment about base pay, if you're worried about base pay, earn by time is the truest form of what we've talked about that we want. You have a base pay that is structured for your time. It's missing the mileage component. That would be the only other thing that would be great to have added in there. But the tip kind of takes care of that. But you've got the earn by time component. Your time is getting compensated. Your weight is getting compensated. There are less reasons to cancel an order. There are less reasons to not accept an order because you're getting paid by time. And then if the customer's tipping, as I have said, at least $5, stacks become more valuable. Stacks become routes. They don't become stacks. And and again, we're missing one component. If they would show us the tipping information, which they probably will never do, earn by time would be about as perfect as it gets. So that is the future. That is where DoorDash is pushing. That is their counter argument to raise the base pay on earn by offer. Just don't do it. Follow our program. Get access to the platform. When you get onto the earn by time platform, you don't have to work. You don't actually get the priority when you're in there, but you will get access to large order programs, pizza program. You will get those available to you. Now, you will not get the highest ones because if you want the highest ones, then you're going to be on earn by offer. But my experience so far has been that earn by offer now, they've slowed it down to such a way that you're either going to be forced to take some of the lower paying orders that might be $1 a mile or a little less than $1 a mile. And if you're not willing to take those, then you're going to fall out of the range to be able to have Dash anytime. You're going to fall down the priority spectrum. You're going to end up with limited access to the platform. And yes, when it's busy, they'll let you on. And then you may see an order or two here or there that have really large and really nice payouts when you can get access to the program. Now, if you've got other apps, you're going to be fine. But if you don't, and you're dependent on DoorDash, you're going to be in trouble. But I recommend, in my opinion, if you want to get the most out of your experience with gig apping right now, and you want to try to go the full-time route, you've got to have multiple apps. And then you've got to utilize the earn by time program. The earn by time program. You've got to utilize that by using multiple apps and making sure that you have the ability to find other orders that are going to put you in a better position while you have to wait for orders, while it slows down, etc. And while you're also driving around, you're on an earn by time offer, and you can have those other apps on looking. So when you get there, if you have something that you can see, if you have an app like Grubhub that shows you everything, if you have an app like Spark that shows you everything, if you have an app like Instacart that shows you everything, if you have an app like Uber Eats, which shows you almost everything, then you can use those apps that you can see more information on, and you can improve your experience, and you can make it a more profitable, better experience out here. Now, I understand some cities, some areas, some places may still have great earn by offer programs. and enjoy it while you can. But I am telling you right now that earn by offer is going to degrade in every market. DoorDash wants its dashers on earn by time because they will have more control over your behavior. They will have more control over what you're getting paid, and they will have more control over things. And they're going to force you over there, whether you like it or not. So the best way to negate that is go on earn by time, use it as a way to stabilize your earnings, make your earnings more consistent, and utilize the other apps around it so that when the other apps aren't popping, like there are times, Uber for me is a dinner and a lunch app with occasional shops in between. But for the most part, there's a lot that there can be a lot of gaps. Instacart, hit or miss. Grubhub, dinner and lunch app. Again, there's some good orders on there, but there's a lot of waiting. And then we have Spark. Spark is a great performer. Spark is my regulator. Spark is the app that will give me banger-sized orders all day long on some days, and then some days it'll be more difficult to get anything out of it. And it's important that you have something like DoorDash where you can say, okay, I'm going to go out and I'm going to hit accept for $13.25 and I'm going to deliver some burritos and I'm going to fill my gaps. And while I'm delivering on that order, I'm watching the other apps. And there's, like I said, you can utilize, if you're more aggressive, you can utilize your courtesy cancel how you see fit. I'm not going to suggest how to do something that isn't probably supported in the guidelines, but there's different ways you can do it, that you can take your multi-apping to the next level. Let's put it that way. And you can make it fit for you based on what you're seeing in your market and how things are going. Anyways, I'm going on too long. I may have to cut this down in post-editing because I don't want to be just rambling and repeating the same thing over and over again. But to answer the question, will DoorDash ever increase base pay? Never. Will it be going down? Yes. On the earn by offer time side. Earn by time, it has increased base pay. It will continue to increase it, and it will increase it based on what a market allows tip-wise for it to be increased to, and how to create the demand to get people onto that side. And I do believe they will continue to build upon the earn by time platform, and we will see, I think, further access to priority and things of that nature in future installments. That's what I think. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I could see them opening up more priority, access to bigger tips, and things of that nature being an evolutionary step in the Earn by Time program. Because I believe that is the future. And I believe the Earn by Offer area is going to be where it's going to be the penalty box and it's the funding to allow that to happen. And like I said, pay attention when DoorDash tells you larger tips are over there. They're not telling you larger payouts are over there. And there's a reason for that, because they're using what they're taking over here to pay people over here to get those orders delivered. And they're doing it on the backs of the big tippers, and they're doing it on the backs of their drivers who are willing to accept the $2 base pay for a big tip once every 45 minutes. And that's how they're funding it. And like I said, we'll get into more of that on a Rational Gig Hour. I hope this made sense. I hope you were able to follow along. Put your thoughts in the comments on what I've had to say. You guys, as always, stay rational, and I'll talk to you soon.